perfection of, well, this is for an absolute beginner. And so this is I like to call this one a star stitch. We have many, many variables of star stitches with crochet. And so I've got kind of a big yarn barf going on right here right now. And I'm trying to avoid it getting worse. Okay. And so what I'm going to do is attach my yarn to my crochet hook. I am using a size, it looks like a 6 and a G and a 6, 4.25 millimeter crochet hook. So on some of these newer crochet hooks, it looks like the numbers have actually changed a little bit, which is really surprising, but they have. Okay, so I'm going to go over here in case any of you have any questions about anything. I want to make sure that my sound is muted. Yep, it looks like my sound is. Wave my hand so I see that. Okay, so I'm going to get started here. So I'm going to work a chain 3, 1, 2, 3, just like that, and then we're going to do a double crochet. So we're doing little joints here, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm working a double crochet through the previous like this, and then 1, 2, 3, and a double crochet through the previous 2 sets of stitches here through the joint like that, and then I'm going to do a 1, 2, 3, and then work a double crochet. So we have a whole series of joints here. Now this is really a beautiful, this would make a nice edging too. So if you needed something for an edging, this is what I would recommend on the edge of a blanket. Do you see how pretty that is? How simple it is to make? And you can easily perform this on the edge of a blanket if you wanted to make some type of a edging, that's really simple for a blanket. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going below these 2 loops, working a double crochet just like that. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, and then we are working a double crochet. 1, 2, 3, and we are working a double crochet. Now I'm going to leave the last 2 loops on my hook. I want to work over in this joint, so we want to start making stars here. So I'm going to yarn over, pull through once, yarn over, and then put through the joint there, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. We have 4 left on our hook, yarn over, pull through all 4 loops just like that. And this, so we have kind of like a point here, but this is our edge. So we have 1, 2, 3. We have like a triangle here for our first star. So now I'm going to work a 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to work below these 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2. I'm going to leave the 2 remaining loops on my hook. So I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to put it through the previous joint here, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, put through the point, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. We have 4 loops on our hook, and so that's where I'm leaving it right there for now. Yarn over, pull through all 4 loops. Nope, that's not right. That is not right. I have to actually do one more. Yarn over, and I need to go through the next joint right here, like this. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through, put through the hole, yarn over. Now I've got 6 loops on my hook here. Yarn over, pull through all 6 loops, and that looks right. Okay, so I'm going to work a chain 3, yarn over, and I'm going to put it through the previous hole there, yarn over, pull through, leave the 2 remaining loops on the hook, yarn over, and I'm going to work what equals to 2 double crochet through here, but I'm leaving the last loops on my hook. Now I need to go over here, work in the next joint. And so that's just a hole there between the next 2 stitches. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over. Now we're working another double crochet. We have 6 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through all 6 loops on our hook. Look at that, we've completed two stitches there. 1, 2, 3, and we're putting it through the same hole here, yarn over, and now we're putting it down here in this hole, and we're working 2 double crochet just like that. Now we're working through the next joint over here, and you see how this is working here? Hopefully you guys are hanging along here. We've got 6 loops, pull through all 6 loops. Do you see what we've got here? We've got this beautiful, beautiful star stitch going on here. And so, do you see that? Now I'm working a chain of 3. Okay, and we're going to repeat the same thing all across to the opposing side. Now I'm working a chain 3, and I'm working the equivalent of 2 double crochet, and I'm leaving the 2 remaining loops on my hook. Now I'm working down here in the joint. I've got 4 loops on my hook. Now I am working in the next joint, and I'm going to end up with a total of 6 loops on my hook there, like this. So this is what we've got right here. Please remember to subscribe if you're new and follow along. Share this video with your friends. And so we're going to continue on. Now we're here at the edge. And so I've got a yarn barf creeping up here. I have got a yarn barf creeping up here. Do you see it? How it's creeping up here? And that completes the first row. And yarn barf had to come along there. Okay, so this is what we've got. You see that? Okay, now we're going to turn. And I am going to work a chain 3. This is on the edge. And I am going, this can get confusing on the edge. You know, some might call this a hard stitch, not for beginners, but I think it's for beginners actually. They should be able to do it. Okay, so now we're going to work over here on this side. And okay, so we've got the start of the next row. This is a beautiful, beautiful stitch. We're working in joints, and we're making stars out of geometric shapes. And, you know, so we're just making sure that we're not doing too many. It could be, you're going to notice if you get too many stars in here on this one. You see what we've got right there? We've got the star. We should have about 6. We do have 6. We have 6 legs on each star there. Okay, so now I'm going to work a chain 3 and work part of a double crochet, leaving the 2 remaining loops on the hook. Now I'm working through the one at the base here, doing the same thing. Now I've got 4 loops on my hook, and I'm going over then to the next one. 1, 2, I've got 6 loops on my hook there, and then we chain to secure. Look at there, we've got our loops, our stars. They're beautiful stars. 1, 2, 3, and so we're going to keep on keeping on here. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And we are working. this is considered art as well. This is the one thing that the search engine optimization people miss, you know, with their networks and things like that, because of the fact that they just talk about this stuff, you know. So this is where I become confused at times with the search engine optimization people, because they want to collect up people who actually know how to do this stuff, and then they don't want to pay them. That's what they want to do. That's why they're so desperate, in desperate, dire straits, and need for someone who actually knows how to crochet and do this stuff, because their networks are based off of topics instead of them just doing it by themselves. You know, so, and there's very few people who can do this on the internet right now, even who are willing to do it. Okay, so, okay, we need to work over here in the top of this stitch. And so with the search engine optimization people in the networks, I call them full of doo-doo. Oh, I messed up here. How did I mess up? Okay, something is not quite right here with this particular I've got another try here. Okay, now I need to go. Okay, so we've got a bar this direction. Okay, you're down. If you're down here at the bottom, or am I? Let me see here. See, this is where it's easy to get messed up here on the sides when we end up with. Okay, now I need to set it down and see where. Okay, you're at the bottom here. Okay, so I might have. Now, how am I going to get out of this one? I think that I probably have one more to do. It's just a little bit challenging to get our hook through some of these loops, because they do blend in so well. That's the whole thing on the edges for me over my period and lifespan of crochet. The edges blend in really well. Now, do you see how this is sticking out here? We've got one more to do. So I've got 1, 2, 4, 5. I think I should have 6. And so 1, 2, and then we're gonna do one, 2. I'm leaving the 4 loops on the hook. Now I'm going to go over here and work through here. 1, 2. Now we're working on the edge. Okay, now we've got it there. Do you see how we've got it? And it's also normal for sometimes for the top part to actually expand a little bit. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got 6 bars there. And so now we're going to turn. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to work the same thing, and we need to be careful not to, I mean, the edges are going to get you every time. You ask any person who has crocheted, any woman, man who has crocheted for an extended period of decades, and they're going to tell you the same thing. The edges get you every time. And there's times I have frogged it and ripped and ripped and ripped. Because the Afghan was just not going to work. And what happens is it's really easy to lose stitches on the edges. And so it is helpful to have something to indicate and mark. You know, like right here, these 2 stitches are blended together, and I need to be working through this part right here. I'm wondering if I have something. Let me see if I can help myself a little bit with, let me see if I've got something I can use here to, so I know that when I get to my edge. No, I don't want to yarn that long. That's entirely too too long. Maybe we can cut some of it. Let me see what I can do here. Okay. Okay, so I've got a little green yarn here, and so I'm going to mark my edge right here. This is just a little tip that I do. Instead of buying yarn markers, I just use tails. I just use my leftover tails here. Instead, this is a perfectly good yarn marker. I see no reason to buy any of those stitch markers that they have because the tails work really, really good. Let me clip this. Okay. Okay, so now we are right here, and I'm just using my tail. If you're someone who's on a budget, use your tails for yarn markers. They're perfect. They're perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, so let's get to moving on here. And we are going to work a chain 3, and just like that, we are going to skip over this bar right here and go over to the next center. Like that, we have 4 loops on our hook. Wrap over, pull through all 4 loops. Now here is another good place. Okay, this is what, since I'm using yarn markers, let me continue on with using my yarn markers. Now, this is just going to add a tiny bit of time. It's not that hard. So if you want to make sure you're counting right, this is where you add the yarn marker in. Okay, so I've got my, okay, let me do this first. Okay, 1, 2, 3. We're going to do you first, and then right here at the edge, then we're going to add the yarn marker right in here. And so this is just marking my first row here. These are easy to take out, or my first stitch, I should say, not my row. Okay, so now I'm going to make my first leg. I call them legs and joints. They're 6 pointed stars there. Now we're skipping over this one, working in the next. Just like that. Now you see how that works? Fun little trick there. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So we are working across still, working our legs and joints of this stitch. One, 2, 3. 3, and we are working through the top of that next stitch. 1, 2. We're working through the next stitch, yarn over. Okay. Okay, so now we are working 1, 2, 3. See, this is why they want to steal our content, is because search engine optimization experts, or so-called experts, they don't have the expertise nor the gonads to actually, oh, let me go on over here where I did this at and work my stitch through here, to actually want to do this themselves. And so they just want to, that's why you see stuff ending up on other websites, is because they like what people do. It's just that they, for some reason, they don't want to do it their own self. 1, 2, 3. And then they don't want to pay people either. Okay, so now let's see what we got going on here. 1, 2, and then, okay, so we're working over here in 1. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got one more to do here. Okay. Now we've, oh no, this is terrible when this happens. Oh my goodness sakes. What have we got going on here? Okay. Okay. So do you see that? Beautiful. We've got our edges all perfect. Pretty much perfect here. Now what I'm going to do at this point, I'm going to work a chain 2. Oh, dangerous, danger, 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 Will Robinson. We are, okay, we recovered. And now what we're going to do is we are going to pull this out. And so if I want to make sure I know exactly where my edges are, and this is a perfect good usage of yarn tails and our leftover yarn tails. This is a tip. I'm going to keep saying it over and over again. And so I lightly put it through there. It's just kind of the same premise that you would do if you're latch hooking crochet. Put it in loose though. It doesn't have to be in that tight. And so we're going to get our edges marked here. And then we're going to end up with even edges here. Not too many stitches. And, you know, which we could end up with too many. And another thing, we could end up missing stitches. So we're going to start off with 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to work the second part of our double crochet. Leave the 2 loops on our hook. Now we go over to this one. And we are working 1, 2, just like that. Okay, so that's what we do on this one. So they're different. And so now we are working 1, 2, 3. So that's something to keep in mind, that each time we do this, each row is different. So it takes 2 passes to actually complete a star. And then now we're skipping over this and working in the next one. And I like to lay it down just to make sure I have it right. To make sure it's going to have a straight edge on it. Yeah, okay, so that's right. So we skip over this one, and yeah. Okay, so let me lay this down like that. I need to secure these. Okay, so now is where I need to move this stitch. Okay, let's straighten that one up. And then I am going to latch it through, just like with the latch hook. I'm going to latch it through here. So I know where my edge is. Do you see that? We see right here, it's nice and straight. Both edges are pretty nice and straight here. Even though it's not going to be perfect, it's yarn. It's never perfect. Okay, so now let's continue on. We will continue on. Does anyone have any questions or anything? 2, 3, and so all of these in between, we end up with 6 loops on our hook. 1, 2, just like that. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then 1, 2, 3. So you could make whatever you want to out of this. A blanket actually would be ideal. A plushy blanket. Anything yarn is going to be plushy. That's what I think at this point. Now we can see right here when we look at this that there's an angle there, and that means we have one more stitch to do. So when we look at this from here to here and there's an angle, I mean, I'm tempted, I know myself, I'm tempted to say, okay, I'm done with this row and turn. You know, and when you're just crocheting along and blabbing, and that's something that's kind of easy to, think that you've completed the whole thing. And so it's just not, okay, so okay, let's secure this. Let's see what we've got right there. We still make it work no matter where we put our stitch marker. We know, we have an idea where our first stitch is at. And so look what we end up with here. We end up with nice even edges. Our stitches are actually in alignment with each other. Okay, so now I need to pull this little guy out, my little latch hook yarn marker here that I rigged up here. And so what I'm going to do is 1, 2, 3. I'm working 3. Now I have done this with, it's beautiful with the triple crochet, even though that's a little bit extra work. Okay, so now I am doing, I'm working over here. 1, 2. Okay. Now I need to secure. Okay, so we need to take and okay, I need to work you right in here. Just like that. Okay, so I'm going to work 1, 2, 3. Now I work back here through here, and this is a top horizontal bar. Now we're doing angled vertical bars. The next 2 sets will be angled vertical bars to the left and to the right. So we've got 4 loops on our hook. 1, 2. Now we've got 6 loops on our hook. Pull through all 6 and then chain to secure. I don't know, there's something right here that is, I'm not sure what I got. I mean, it looks, okay, it matches kind of with this one. Okay. That's where I get messed up. It's like I look at my edges and it's like, oh my goodness, what am I doing? Okay, we've got, it's just this one might be a little bit looser maybe, I'm not sure. I could have just worked it a little bit looser. 1, 2, 3, and now I am working, we're going to end up with 6 loops on our hook. See, this is a rhythm I can work with right here because of the fact that I'm putting in my yarn marker stitch markers. And so then I'm not going to end up with a big, I mean, I make it easier on myself so I can see my stitches on the sides. And I've even done that like with single crochet before too, when I'm working charts and patterns and things like that. Okay, yeah, that's what happens is, I see what's happening there. I think 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, and then we're going to end up with 6 loops on our hook, just like this, 6 loops. Okay, now we're going to do 1, 2, 3, and end up with 6 loops on our hook. 1, 2, now we've got one more leg to work on here. We've got 6 loops on our hook, pull through all 6 loops. This is working out really, really fabulous. I mean, this is an awesome piece of work. Do you see what we have here? I wish you guys could see through it. Oh my gosh, see? It's really pretty. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. This would make a pretty shawl too, a shawl or a waist scarf. It's even prettier with thread. I mean, it's pretty with this, but it's even prettier with thread when you work it with thread. Maybe I should make a cross. I'm trying to think, how would I make a cross out of this? I do have a cross that I want to make here eventually. Okay, so I'm working this stitch, 1, 2, we've got 6. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay, there's 2. So what I'm going to work here is in here, 1, 2, and then we're working through this one, 1 and 2. Okay, what have we got here? Okay, this is what we've got. Looks pretty good. You see that? Do you guys think you can do this? See what we've got right here? Our stars. They're all blended in. You can't even tell which row is which row. They're flowers too, actually. They are flowers. It can be called a flower afghan or a star afghan. It can be whatever name you want it to be, whatever you are feeling at the time you are making it. That's my thought process. If you want to call it whatever, you could call it the whatever afghan, I suppose. The whatever, Mom. Oh my gosh, do you guys remember that? Whatever, Mom. I really don't want to do this. Whatever, Mom. Actually, that could be kind of fun, the whatever, Mom afghan. That's the direction that the yarn community goes in sometimes, is down the old-fashioned route. That's one thing I've noticed is it does go down the old-fashioned granny route a lot of times, which that is appealing to the younger generation, though, too, it seems like. Because I think, this is just my opinion, I think it's because of, it creates some fond childhood memories related to people who had parents who did this, who did things like this. So, yeah, I can see some vague rows, but they're, you know, they blend in pretty well. They blend in pretty well with this one. That's why it's challenging. That's why I only recommend stitch markers on this pattern. and I included them this time, stitch markers, which is just a latch hook of scrap yarn. This is just a simple idea, inexpensive, an idea what to do with all your leftover tails. And I've done tapestries where I've had the whole thing loaded up throughout the whole with hundreds and hundreds of leftover tails as stitch markers for where I'm going in with the next one. And I mean, it does become a lot of work when you're sewing in that many tails too. It does become a lot of work, but then if that's something you want to do, it's worth it when you're done. It's a lot of work. It's worth it. It's just like doing a weaving. I mean, technically, this is weaving. Knitting, weaving, and crochet are basically all the same thing. It's just different words for the same thing. You know, so it's heavier. It's fun. It's not something an individual can actually sell and make a living. Even though there's people on the internet and YouTube who tell you that you can. If someone's doing it, I'm not sure how they're doing it because it's challenging for individual people to actually do it. So I think that there's teams of people who are working together on one project to get it done fast. I think that's how they do it. I can't think of it being any other way. So, all right. Well, thank you for watching, and we'll be doing something else here again in the future. Let's give ourselves a little look here at the stitch we're working on here at the end.